First resident is Glenn Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and may it please the committee. My name is Glenn Cohen, and I am a Manalapan resident. I'm also president of a new company called Stop the Manalapan Crematorium Incorporated. It is a new nonprofit New Jersey corporation, just recently formed. And I'm here today to speak about crematoriums and specifically our opposition to them. Our position on crematoriums is that we oppose the construction or operation of a crematorium in Manalapan in or near any residential area. And we are advocating for the introduction and passage of an ordinance to that effect. I want to point out that as a group, we are not opposed to cremation. Cremation is an increasingly popular end-of-life choice, and we have no concern with cremation at all. It is specifically, though, what we are opposed to is a crematorium in a residential area. That is our specific area of concern. And we are opposed, and very strongly so, to the establishment, construction, or operation of a crematorium in or near a residential area. And in that regard, I have 4 main points to present to summarize our principal issues in that regard. The first is a zoning and land use concern. A crematorium is, at its core, the incineration of human remains. And incineration is an inherently industrial activity. This is an industrial smokestack operation. It is not the passive, verdant, bucolic cemetery of the days of old. This is an active industrial activity. And it is simply an inappropriate land use for a residential neighborhood. And in our view, it should be banned in or near residential areas as being an inappropriate use, an inappropriate land use for a residential area. Secondly, we're concerned with emissions and environmental impact. The concern there is over particulate emissions and vapors, and especially vaporized mercury, which has significant potential negative health effects. Again, all inappropriate for a residential area and would need to be really fully understood. Number 3 is traffic. Traffic studies would be necessary for any operation of this kind to really fully understand the impact in the area wherever it would be established. There are some ethnic groups and religious groups that accompany the deceased to the crematorium for service. And with potentially thousands of cremations per year at a crematorium, we're very concerned about the impact upon traffic in Manalapan. And fourth is quality of life. Quality of life is fully within the ambit of the Township Committee and a very, very important issue for us. And there are multiple issues in quality of life. First would be the sensitivity to the Holocaust survivors and their families in our community. The concern there is that those individuals are particularly sensitive to any imagery of cremation because of the horrific history involved. And those individuals have a palpable and visceral response to any imagery of a crematorium, and especially one which they would need to drive by every day within a residential neighborhood. We don't know what the effect would be upon children in the area who might walk through the area, and at its core, those vapors, even if they were completely innocuous, you would be breathing vaporized human remains, which is something to be considered very carefully as quality of life. Lastly, there are some religious groups who consider the vapor of cremation to be desecrating upon existing graves, and that also needs to be considered. So accordingly, we recommend and request that the Township Committee introduce and pass an ordinance restricting crematoriums in Manalapan, and we are willing to cooperate in any way that we can to support such an ordinance. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much, committee.
Thank you, Glenn. Responding, I just want to say one thing with the crematorium. It has been pulled, their application has been pulled off, but I'm going to defer to our attorney, Roger McLaughlin, to give everybody an update on the crematorium and the meetings that we've held.
Sure, Mayor. You're right, the crematorium application has been withdrawn for now. We don't know if they're going to come back or not. Mr. Cohen, on behalf of the group that he described this evening, had asked the mayor for a meeting. We met today, the mayor, the administrator, and I, with Mr. Cohen and the attorney that the group has hired. The attorney was kind enough to provide me with a rather lengthy letter of requesting the ordinance changes and supporting those. The committee has asked me to take a look at that and to report back in terms of the legalities there. We've also asked Mr. Cohen and the group and your attorney to provide us with any information supporting either a ban or the 1 mile limitation. So we will take a look at that and we'll be reporting back to the governing body.
Thank you, Roger.